The New York Giants are broken. And on today's video, I'm going to go through my 5-step plan to fix this dumpster fire. But if you still love this team, if you still bleed Giants blue and you are riding and dying with this team no matter what, smash that thumbs up icon. Fixing the New York Giants. That's what we're going to be doing here on today's show as you're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. Look, it's going to take a lot more than a 5-step plan to fix this organization, but we only have so long on today's show, so I'm just going to hit on the key points, and I'm going to talk about 5 things the Giants must do, also a lot more things they must do, to get back to being a respected franchise and competing in the NFC East. Duty number 1. Fire Joe Schoen and fire Brian Daboll. I really have more beef with Joe Schoen than Brian Daboll at this point. I do still think there is a world where Brian Daboll can be a successful coach for the New York Giants. I do think there is a world where Daboll will be a successful coach elsewhere. But I am almost confident that Joe Schoen will never, ever, ever be the general manager of a Super Bowl winning organization. And it's the perfect time to hit the reset button. You're going to be picking in the top 5 of the NFL draft. Right now, you have a 40+% chance to get that number 1 overall pick. You're going to have $65 million in cap space. You have like $190 million, $194 million in 2026 and 0 dead cap dollars, which means that you have everything you want when it comes to organizational flexibility on the cap to improve this team. And I don't want Joe Schoen to be the guy that's leading that charge. Let's start with the head coach. I'm going to fire Brian Daboll, and I'm going to go hire Mike Vrabel as the next head coach for the New York Football Giants. He brings an identity. He brings a winning culture. He brings an attention to detail mindset to the New York Football Giants. He's won as a coach. He has won as a player, and I think he is someone that can win over and keep a locker room continuing to play their heart out for this guy. He is going to be a CEO of this football team with a specialization in defense, and I just loved the way that those Tennessee Titans teams played under them. Hard-nosed, smash mouth, we're going to beat you for 60 minutes, and we're going to do it in a way that imposes our will onto you. So go out and add Mike Vrabel, get an identity, get a leader, and get a winner in charge. And then for my general manager position, I'm going to go steal Will McClay from the Dallas Cowboys. Will McClay ever leave the Dallas Cowboys? I do not know. Maybe it's getting to a point where it's so bad, and he will. He's one of the higher members in the Dallas Cowboys front office, and I know Jerry Jones is the de facto GM for the Dallas Cowboys, but it's McClay who has been making the draft picks for the Cowboys, and he specializes in drafting in the first round, and more often than not, hitting on those picks. He essentially became the decision maker in the NFL draft for the Cowboys in the 2014 NFL draft. And look at some of these picks. Zach Martin on his way to the Hall of Fame. Byron Jones was a great player at pick number 27. Ezekiel Elliott, one of the better players in recent memory coming out of the draft in the rookie contract. Missed on Taco Charlton. A lot of people liked him. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Leighton Vander Esch was a hell of a pick for them. And before the injuries, he was looked at as one of the best inside linebackers in this league. They then traded a first-round pick for Amari Cooper, which was a home run deal. Then they selected CeeDee Lamb at number 17, one of the best wide receivers in the league. You got Michael Parsons at pick number 12. Tyler Smith has been a good player for them. And it's too early to tell on Mozzie Smith and Tyler Guyton. But if we just talk about from 2014 to 2021, he's got one miss. You got to hit on the draft if you want to be good in this league. The Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl, but I think they have 3 seasons in a row before this one of winning 12 games. And the things I would do to win 12 games in a season, the things I would do to win 36 games over 3 seasons, it'd land me in jail. So, yes, I would go out. I would fire Brian Daboll. I would fire Joe Schoen and give me Mike Vrabel and Will McClay to be the head of this New York Giants organization. Then I'm going to go out and build the best staff that I can. I'm going to fire Shane Bowen. I'm going to fire Mike Kafka. I'm going to fire everybody that was on this coaching staff except Andre Patterson. I would hold on to him. And if you want your offensive line coach, Carmen Priscilla, to say he could do that. But I'm going to hire Robert Saleh, and I'm going to hire Josh McCown as the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator for this team. I'm going to go out there and get two guys that I believe can elevate this team as coordinators. Robert Saleh is a guy that was a head coach, didn't work out with the Jets, but when he was the defensive coordinator for the 49ers, they were one of the best in the National Football League. And McCown right now is the quarterback coach for the Minnesota Vikings. You talk to people around the league, and they tell you that he is the guy that Sam Darnold leans on the most. And I like having a guy that's played the quarterback position because we're going to draft a young quarterback. And I want him in lockstep with someone that's been there and done that. McCown has already had some head coach interviews in his career so far. I would love to go get him. But maybe you don't want to hire a guy that's never been there and done that. So what about you bring a guy that's won a Super Bowl as a head coach? If you can't get McCown, I'm looking at Dougie Peterson, who's probably going to be fired as the head coach from the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm looking to get him as the offensive coordinator. When you talk about hiring Mike Vrabel as the head coach, you also got to hire and hit on that offensive coordinator hire. And the reason I am selecting Doug Peterson is because he reminds me of Arthur Smith, who is the offensive coordinator for the Steelers right now. He's tried being a head coach. It worked, but most recently it has not, and he's been fired twice. I'm not sure he'll get another head coach job. So come just be a mastermind CEO of the offense. Let Vrabel specialize as the CEO of the team with a direct influence on the defense with Saleh, and let a guy like Doug Peterson run the show, who, if he does have success, probably not going to get poached because no team wants him to be the head coach anymore. Get proven coordinators. If you do want to swing for the fences, though, McCown is my guy on that end. So we've got rid of the head coach and the GM. We've got a new head coach and GM. We've beefed up the staff on the offensive and defense side of the ball. Now let's go add some talent. And my main focus is on the offensive end because you have been a bottom five offense for God knows how many years in a row. So I'm going to go spend big because the New York Giants, they have $65+ million in cap space. And like we talked about, their books for 2026 are clean. $194 in cap space and $0 in dead cap. So you can start to spend on primary positions and premium players. Give me Trey Smith, the interior offensive lineman for the Kansas City Chiefs, and give me T. Higgins, the playmaking wide receiver from the Cincinnati Bengals. This offense needs an infusion of talent. Right now, they have one of the worst position groups at the wide receiver position in this league outside of Malik Nabers. You need someone else on this team that can make plays besides Malik Nabers at a high level. And we're going to draft a young quarterback, so let's beef up the offensive line. Let's give him some weapons, and let's build a landing spot around him that can be conductive to some success. T. Higgins is great. Trey Smith is great. They're going to cost a lot of money, but you got a lot of money. And it's about time you start spending it on the right players. Those are two guys that I have my eyes on as we head into NFL free agency. We got two more steps to talk about, but first, I got to tell you about our proud sponsor, Game Time. If you're looking for last-minute tickets to go to an NFL game, NBA game, college football game, concert, theater event, comedy show, or something like that, you can get your tickets from Game Time. And if you use that promo code ChatSports, you're going to get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. Game Time is the ticketing app where you get the best seats for the lowest prices guaranteed. Prices of the event actually drop as said event gets closer. It's easy to use in the app. You get to see your seat view in the app. You access your tickets from your phone when you're going to the stadium. And if you decide last minute you no longer want to go to the event, it's easy to resell your tickets as well. One thing I love, lowest price guaranteed. We can all agree that that's what we want. And you get to save $20 off your first purchase if you use that promo code ChatSports. Some last minute tickets going on right now for the Giants at the Ravens at the Giants game this Sunday. These prices will continue to drop. And you get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply if you use that promo code ChatSports. So download the account, download the app, create an account, and use the promo code ChatSports. That's ChatSports. What time is it? It is game time. Make sure to use that all-in pricing and Game Time picks feature as well. Step number 4, go sign a veteran bridge quarterback. Remember, free agency comes before the draft. You only have one quarterback on this roster in Tommy DeVito heading into the offseason. And you're going to need to add a quarterback even if you are for sure going to draft a quarterback. So let's go sign a veteran one. Some guys that I'm looking at that are on my short list, Jameis Winston, Justin Fields, Jacoby Brissett, and Marcus Mariota. If the Giants sign any of these 4 quarterbacks, I would totally be okay with that. I think Winston could start some games. If you want to redshirt your rookie quarterback the whole year, you could roll with Justin Fields If you just want a mentor that a young quarterback can lean on, that's Jacoby Brissett, and Marcus Mariota is somewhere in the middle of those two. You got to add someone. You can't enter the season with just Tommy DeVito and Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. So go out, sign a veteran quarterback, have them be a mentor for one of these young guys, and let's start to build this thing out the right way. And step 5, go get your signal caller. Draft Cam Ward or draft Shedeur Sanders. Go get your next franchise quarterback. If you do that, and you do this, and you do this, and you do this, and you do this, you've at least done the best job you can to soften the landing spot and build a foundation around this team. When it comes to Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, I'm really cool with either two of those players. I do have Cam Ward as QB1, and I do have Shedeur Sanders as QB2, but a gap that was once wide is shrinking the more and more that I start to watch more tape, start to talk to people, and look at it overall. Really, when it comes to talent, these guys are relatively very close. Completion percentage, you see all the stats on screen. Cam Ward's got a bigger arm. Shedeur Sanders takes better care of the ball. That's shown in the turnover-worthy play percentage. 2.8% of the plays for Cam Ward, he makes turnover-worthy plays, whereas just 1.1% for Shedeur Sanders. I also like to look at how these guys work under pressure. A completion percentage of 50% under pressure for Cam Ward, whereas it's 53.7% for Shedeur Sanders. Ward makes more big-time throws, especially when pressured. 6.5% of his throws under pressure were deemed big-time throws. 6.3 were deemed big-time throws, whereas 5.5 for Sanders. But the way that Sanders takes care of the ball under pressure is something that I'm really starting to fall in love with. Just 1.4% of his throws under pressure result in a turnover-worthy play. You want him to take the deep shot, want him to take the shot over the middle of the field, throw it down the field, they could do that. 20-plus air yard throws. Both are really good in this department. Ward makes a lot of big-time throws, and Shedeur Sanders, he even takes care of the ball when he's trying to make big-time plays. A 0.0 turnover-worthy play percentage on throws down the field. Aggressive, but not reckless. And that is how I would describe Shedeur Sanders. Overall, these guys are very close, and I like them for different reasons. Arm talent, Cam Ward. Decision-making and accuracy, Shedeur Sanders. Playmaking, Cam Ward. Leadership, Cam Ward. I'd be fine with either of these gentlemen. It just comes down to a preference. Do you want the home run hitter that sometimes strikes out, or do you want the guy that gets on base a lot and hits a lot of singles and sometimes hits doubles? Both those guys are going to be winning players in this league if they're brought into a situation that has support around them. Pick a quarterback for me. Who would you rather see under center next year for the Giants? Is it Sanders? Is it Ward? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Make sure you are following me on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up, and let's go Big Blue.